Hello and welcome to Snipes Castle, the U.S. Navy Sailors Podcast with your host, retired Senior Chief Darryl Starks, and my partner, retired Chief Petty Officer Dennis B. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, what's going on?
All right. This is Senior Chief's True Navy Sea Stories, where either me or my partner Dennis or a guest will tell us a sea story from the time in the Navy. This is real life, as always, on Snipes Castle. So some of these stories can make you laugh, sad, and even mad at times. So today, my homeboy Dennis B got a sea story for us. What you got for us, Dennis?
So my story goes back to my experience. That's like early in my career. I'd say about 20 plus years earlier. But uh, from previous story previous time I was on a podcast, I was telling you how I was from New York and I got recruited in New York City to join the Navy Life. That happened right about a year after 2001, September 11th. So I decided to. Originally, I was going to go to college, but I ended up going to recruiting stations, and I ended up going to Marine Corps recruiting station, Air Force, and then Navy. Air Force and Navy one, they were kind of in the same building. One was on the first floor, the other one was on the second floor.
Yeah.
And my the one that I originally went to, the recruiter, one of the I guess senior recruiters that was there was a GM1 Stanley G. Cargin. He was my recruiter out of that station, and great guy. I had a great experience when he recruited me into the service. So I went to the Depper delayed entry program, which is lasted about 6 months for me because I didn't leave until I enlisted in April, I think, or
Yeah.
May. But I didn't go to the Great Lakes for boot camp until September. Like literally, I had the birthday on the 21st September. I had maybe a day, and then on actually
Wow.
that evening of 22nd, I was already at a hotel. And then on the 23rd, I guess I officially reported to boot camp in Great Lakes. About a month into about a month into the boot camp, my recruiter shows up to the boot camp in Great
Really?
Lakes. Yeah,
Really?
and it kind of amazed me the dedication that some of the recruiters back in the day took, or at least mine. I don't know about others because there's different kind of recruiters out there, but mine took time to come to boot camp, take a video, and then take it to my parents. And we're talking about those big cameras like back in the day, not those fancy the ones we have right now. So the one with like VHS tape,
Yeah.
and he took a video. I think it was like maybe like at 20 minutes, and that was like literally. I think I was on like in boot camp for maybe like 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And he took a video, and he took it to my parents, and
Wow.
that is something that stayed with me to this day. But it gets better.
That's a
So
recruiter going above and beyond right there.
I know it, and maybe some recruiters these days do this too, but not like at that level. But now
I
it's
never heard of nothing like that.
but the social media makes it now more accessible to do things like that. And I'm sure the rules might have changed how the sales in bootcamp use their cell phones these days.
Right.
But rolling down the roads, this is probably about 2000 and I think it's 2005. On my first ship, USS Cape St. George. I think we might have been gearing up for deployment it would have been my first deployment. Deployment happened in 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
But I think prior to that, probably like towards the end of summer, I'm on a flight deck. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I was talking to some other sailors on a flight deck, and who I see walking on a pier and towards my ship, that would be my recruiter. But at this time, he picked up chief. So
Oh,
he's coming
okay.
on the ship as a chief to take over the GM division. So I'm like, who is this guy? And then I'm like, and then like in the crazy part, he shaved off his mustache, so I couldn't like recognize him like right away.
Uh-huh.
But then he walked in and his uniform and like he's a war hero at that point.
Yeah.
And yeah, and my recruiter ended up being one of the chiefs on Cape St. George. It's a really small world, and to this day, I still have his recruiting card. That is how small the Navy really was and still is to this point. We stayed in touch for a couple more years. Like I think after he retired, I stayed in touch with him. Um, and he had some medical stuff going on, but
Hmm.
this the point of the story is it's the people that recruit you can really change your direction, but also affect your path in life.
Yeah.
And I honestly can't thank him enough for for being the recruiter that he was. The way he did business, the charisma, the sense of the Navy at that time. He had it all.
Hmm.
So I wish some of the recruiters these days would have the same effect, but it has changed drastically since then. So, but definitely a shout out to GMC Stanley G. Corjan. So that's
That's
my story.
awesome. That's awesome right there. So shout out to the recruiters out there. I know y'all having a rough time. Y'all having a rough time making goal. I think this like the second year y'all gonna miss goal. So y'all got everybody out there recruiting for you. I still recruit for y'all. I actually contract. I was contracting down in Charleston, and one of the guys that used to work for me was he's like, man, medical and dental is taking a lot out of my paycheck. And you know what I said? You know what I told him, Dennis? I was the assistant project manager. And then we had a project manager, Scott. So I was like, hey, man, what was his name? I was like, hey, man, hey, that's gonna be you in the next 20 years, possibly. You want that to be you in the next 20 years? I'm pointing to my project manager, right? I'm like, dude, man, join the Navy, man. You mad? You got one kid, join the Navy, man.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, it'll be the best thing you ever. It'll change your life.
I,
And he went down there. He joined the Navy. He joined the Navy too. Got up out. Got shipped
really?
out. Oh yeah, he joined the Navy. Yeah, he went to boot camp. Got stationed Norfolk. Brought his wife. Brought his kid up there. Said, Dal, that's the best decision. That's the best advice anybody ever gave me. Because he used to live in this backwater town in South Carolina. I mean, it's backwater out there. I
Yeah.
mean, hills have eyes backwater type of town, a horror movie town. But
Yeah.
he got up out of there.
I and that's the thing too. Is like I was living in the Bronx, so now the New York City has changed in general. So I still was living in during the good times, I guess. But the thing is, like I'll never have regrets. Like I think he didn't really sell me the Navy, but he made it. Um, it gave me a possibility of achieving some of the goals.
Hmm.
And a lot of times people, I guess, look down and say, well, 4 years is a long time. 4 years flies real fast.
Hmm.
That's like I think back in the day, they used to be like the smallest contract. I think like 4 years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then they eventually changed to like maybe 2 and then 3. But 4 years flies real quick, and in 4 years, a lot can be accomplished. It could definitely build the foundation to you up for success. So for recruiters that did the right thing back in the day and still doing the right thing these days, yeah, definitely not an easy job. but definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. So shout out to GMC retired out there for doing it, and all your recruiters out there. You're doing your thing out there. We appreciate y'all. You know, you're out there working hard. You know, I know it's hard recruiting, man. You know, especially these days when everybody got so many options, and either just to, I'll just stay home with my parents. All right, give it up for Dennis and that sea story right there. That's a real good sea story right there. Shout out to that recruiter. All right, like I said, if anybody out there, if y'all got a sea story you want to share with Snipes Castle, Senior Chief's True Navy Sea Stories, let me know, and we'll bring you on so you can tell your side of the story. All right, you got any final words there, Dennis?
No, I think that was a good reminiscence. I was actually surprised I was able to find a card. So
that's crazy. Yeah, I remember those cards. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and all those other websites where Snipes Castles are located. Again, we're on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a True Navy Sea story. Again, from me, retired Senior Chief Dow Starks, and my homie, retired Chief Petty Officer Dennis B. All right. Thanks, y'all, for watching, and take care, and fair winds and following seas. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Joke, I'm fattening like Nutri-Sweet Crystal. I'm the light. We gon' miss you. You need a proper mirrors, my number.